My name is Robert. I'm 36 years old, just turned. Diagnosed in 2012 with Chordoma. Started having in pain for I think 4 years before that. Going like numerous trips backwards and forwards to GP. Firstly, they diagnosed me with fractured coccyx. So just asked me if I'd fallen, which yeah. I think a lot of people do fall at some point, don't they? But like that's the first reaction in the gutter, and I said that went on for 4 years. Over that 4 years, I had different painkillers, different anti-inflammatories, tried acupuncture. Saw another GP a year before diagnosis. You could see that around the coccyx area started swelling, like a golf ball size lump there. So again, went to a specialist at that point, who referred me to more pain management, which went on for a year until diagnosis. I think I started having trouble going to the toilet for bowels, really. So I went to the GP, who referred me against these specialists, and requested an MRI. And GPs don't seem to be able to do as much as specialists, they just refer you. Well, that's what I found out anyway, through all this. I think waiting time to get to see GP, see specialists, about, I can't remember, it was a long time. But luckily I had private health through work, so I decided to go through that instead, which took about like a week to see somebody. I had to sit down with him. He as well thought I'd fractured my coccyx, but referred me for a manipulation of my coccyx under general anaesthetic. And that was booked in for mid-January 2012. So I went through to Spire Health at Leeds for that, doing me and Michelle, my wife. Put me to sleep. Not long after, woke up saying that he could feel something there which shouldn't be there. Requested an MRI same day. From that, pretty painful at that point, lying down. I think MRIs last like 45 minutes, an hour altogether. I just about managed it, and a lot of pain. Booked in to see him 2 days later. Showed us showed us the scans, talked through them. Gave like 3 options what they could be. One was Chordoma. I can't remember what the 2 were. And then from that, I think referred me to Sheffield to see somebody. I'm booking for a biopsy. So we're talking, I think I saw from being referred in possibly December to a month's time. Just trying to think now from dates. So mid-January, we had the scans. I think the 6th of February were confirmed Chordoma after biopsy, and that's just when. I think I was still quite positive through it all. We explained what it was and what's going to happen. I think we were referred to Birmingham. See specialists there to look at operations, look at surgery. I ended up being booked in for surgery for the end of March for removing. I think at this point I've got 16 centimetres in my head. I think maybe not quite that big, 13, 16, but yeah, they've grown pretty large. Chordoma was a slow growing anyway, so I think it had been growing for about, 8 years prior to that, to get to that size anyway. So yeah, surgery were booked in for end of March, and that was carried out. They said it'd been for about 2 weeks. It ended up being 6, just because the wound kept opening up. I had to put a vacuum on to bring it all together and bring all fluids out. But other than that, they said it went well. It's got good margins, and that they thought everything would be okay after that. Just to make sure, they applied for proton therapy in Florida. So whilst we were in hospital, we were just waiting to see if that was going to be approved or not. Luckily for me, I think for my age, it was. That's next thing, booked to a trip to Florida for 10 weeks, which doesn't sound too bad, but I think 10 weeks would have been a lot of time to take, because I've got 2 children and a wife as well. She'd not be able to come out of work for that amount of time, so it ended up just being just me for 10 weeks in Florida, which did drag a little bit. But again, with proton therapy, it's supposed to be more accurate than standard radiotherapy, so we're told it's the best option to go for to reduce chance of anything spreading afterwards. That was carried out in October, November 2012. From that, came back home in December just for my daughter's birthday, and booked in to see again specialist at Birmingham for a review shortly after. I think looking back, so I had a scan done just after, like a pre-proton scan in June 2012, and they saw some kind of shadow at that point, which they didn't really think there was anything at that point, but later on showed that it was a spread already. So by the time after proton therapy had been carried out, we saw a specialist, and he pretty much said it's spread again, or it spread for the first time anyway. I think from that point, they're just going to monitor it and see what happens. I think just going into the pelvis, I think it was just one at that point. Well, then, like, subsequently, one of the follow-up scans in, I think, March 2013 showed that it was in like pelvis and hips. So I think I had 3 or 4 spots. Again, the specialist in Birmingham had been dealing with, he's dealt with chordomas for, I think, 20, 30 years. He's really experienced. He's since retired. But he was really confident with what we were doing, and he recommended radio frequency ablation, which is like putting a hot needle in and burning out these little lumps. So I had that done in, I think, April 2013. And again, you just think, hopefully, touch wood, that's the last of it. Unfortunately not. It's I think every scan after that has shown something new, pretty much. It takes a long time going through, 7 years worth of stuff. I think following that, I've had a radiotherapy. It's spread pretty much all the way up the spine. Pretty much every vertebrae has now got chordoma, or signs of chordoma in it. It's in the hips, pelvis. I'm now in a clinical trial. I'm going through to Christie in Manchester twice a week. I had a scan again this week, sorry. And that's just to see if it is working or not. I think previous 2 scans have shown a larger growth within the first few months, which it can do. And the second scan showed that, again, there is growth, but not as much. So it's just a case of what margins are acceptable to carry on or not, if I want to carry on with the trial. But it is a big ask, that twice a week. It's waking up at 5 in the morning, getting through to Manchester, and then having bloods, having treatment, and then getting home. And they are long days. So going through the past year alone, 2018 when I finished the last trial drug, because I think one of the vertebrae showed a mass of squashing on that one, so they recommended tough surgery on that one. So I had a debulking carried out on a couple of vertebrae in June 2018. Again, that surgery went well, but whilst recovering from that one, 2 months later I started having headaches, not being able to subside pain with Chordoma and morphine liquid. Getting worse to one night, early one morning, I called 999 for advice, and they sent an ambulance out to see me. I didn't realise at the time there was anyone out, so I was just got a quick shower. Next thing I knew, there was someone knocking at the door. And Michelle saying, "Who is it?" And I think it's about 5 in the morning. Yeah, I went down to the ambulance, did an assessment. Everything checked out okay. Just say things got worse than to let somebody know, basically. Then later on that day, I just started vomiting, feeling dizzy, not able to stand. I ended up with a bowl full of Vicks in front of me, just trying to get some relief from anything, really. At that point, I decided I need to go into Western Park Hospital to see what's happening. So I pretty much laid in back a car while Michelle drove me. It just felt like forever getting through. Once there, they gave me some anti-sickness injections, which did relieve me, and booked me in for a full scan, which included a brain scan. We were warned that there could be spread to the brain, and then following that scan, we found out that I think it was a 2.5 centimetre lump had been found in the brain. I think previous scan of the brain was like 2 years earlier, which didn't really show anything. So this is a new one, which appeared and started causing trouble. He was stayed in hospital for about 5 days as well. Symptoms were relieved and got on top of pain management. And from that, I was booked in for some stereotactic radiotherapy. I think it's also called like gamma knife, something like that, or cyber knife therapy. And that involves just 1 day high dose radiation into one focal point. That's where I had the cage fitted around my head. So they got to lay down, keep still for I think 2.5 hours, which it sounds a long time, but I fell asleep. So I think I woke up though 15 minutes ago and everything was done. And following that, everything's been, well, symptomatic wise, I get blurred vision every now and again. I kind of feel a bit dizzy every now and again. But 9 months after, I think I'm feeling pretty good from that anyway. Brain wise, I'm just having pain from other areas now, which again we just got to keep on top of. Not really sure what to say about losing my legs, apart from it's tough. You don't really realise how much you do standing up, and how just like little things like getting out of bed, it takes 3-4 times as long. It's just a lot to get used to. Getting used to trying out hoists and transfer boards, and getting used to the wheelchair. It's a bit more difficult for us because we live in a raised bungalow, so we've had to buy a special machine just to get in and out of the house. So we've got a stair climber, so that's where we attach wheelchair to this device. And then it's got like tank tracks on, which will run me down the stairs while Michelle holds onto it. It can be a bit scary at times, but I'll trust her. That's the biggest thing. You don't really realise how much it affects that mental side of things. All this, I think, it's more apparent in the past few months since I lost use of my legs. Again, it's just having people around you to support you and like guide you. It's just something to need to be aware of and be thankful of. But again, there's charities like Bone Cancer Research Trust that's there for people. think the support that Bone Cancer Research Trust have given me has been really helpful in the past few months. I say having someone to talk to, someone's there on the other side of the phone. I know that there's good work being carried out, and there's research being all granted for Chordoma, which is, in my case, is good to hear. At the minute, there's not much. There's not really any drugs for Chordoma. Everything's trial-based. So without support from people, from donations and Bone Cancer Research Trust, then we'd not be getting anywhere really.